is way too much damage. Stop him with the block! He found Churchill!
Oh, and he found
wow.
Wow.
Oh, what? He gets out!
Somewhere there's a covert muffin just applauding this scene.
Holy crap.
Oh man, this is gonna come down to execution in the final escape, isn't it?
Sure is.
Every scene
Our
does.
favorite phrase.
Welcome. Today things are getting serious. This is the first elimination match of the Ori 2021 Rando tournament featuring our runners Grimm and Specht98. Both our runners sadly lost their last match, with Specht facing Terra and Grimm being betrayed by her own pupil Henry switching to KBM. So if those two want to continue competing in the tourney, they will have to take the win today. I'm Samsis, and today Liftoff will be joining me for commentary. Liftoff, how are you doing this early in the day?
I'm doing well. It's a bit of a strange feeling commenting Rando this early in the day, but I'm sure it's fine because this is a great matchup. The first elimination match of the tournament, and two great runners playing in it already. What can you tell me about Graham?
Yeah, Graham on the left, being a hybrid player using half of a controller as well as a mouse, with a very interesting input method, has been playing Rando for multiple years. Kinda lost the match with a bit of an onset last week and is not being happy with how she has routed and played so far. Definitely hungry to redeem herself there, and getting a bit of a better match today. Definitely. I think Graham is a big fan of the grenade jump seeds, not the passionate seeds, grenade jumps. That's what she wants to see today. And a nice early left side access, not a lot of that digging around, getting resources late, but just fast seed and show off what she can do.
Yeah, let's also talk a little about Specht. He started playing Rando after the first Rando tourney back in 2017, but only recently started trying to speedrun the randomizer, really trying to optimize his strategy. He usually just plays co-op with friends, which is also something you can do in this randomizer. If you haven't done it, check that out. He thinks his prelims went pretty well, and he also thinks he played well in his first match. He just ended up facing Terra and went out, so he's happy with how the tournament has gone so far, and he just wants a fun seed. Nothing that's just walking around with wall interaction and blue breakage for 20 minutes. He wants something that allows you to go fast, and he wants to get that early. Ideally charge jump, and given how the tourney has gone so far, the chances of getting that feel pretty great.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what kind of matchup we get today. It wouldn't be the first upset of the tournament, and I'm sure both of our runners are very hungry. Alright, looks like our runners are readying up for the race. While they are doing this, Liftoff, I got one question for you. What kind of seed do you think are we going to see today?
Well, they both want something fast, and I think that today may be one of the rare days that the randomizer is feeling merciful. So I think they're going to get something fast. Maybe not immediately, but I think Dash will be among the first two skills that they'll pick up. That's my soft prediction for the race. What do you think?
I think since this is a KBM versus controller match, I definitely do not want to see Passionate. I've been trying to ask for an early dash seed for about 1 month now, and I haven't gotten it even once, so I'm gonna stick with my prediction and say we are going to get an early dash seed, and for a bit of terrible extras, we are gonna finish it with some nice map stones. But looks like we're ready to go. Our runners are loading into the sunken glades. Ori standing up slowly. No good luck on your randos today, but here we go for our first 4 ticks. All right, you got 5 seconds left off. What's the first pickup going to be?
26 experience.
It's just a keystone instead, but
Unlucky.
good quick call. All right. With this, our runners are off to get their first energy cell, the energy cell not randomized. Playing the game without the ability to save is not a very fun experience, as anyone who has ever done that is probably willing to tell you. So we do not randomize the first energy cell. And another thing, the water vein. All right, no Mapstone 9 water vein today. Kind of sad about that, but hey, you can't win them all. But yeah, I think our runners are probably happy to see they will only be needing to dig for 1 key today and not 2 keys. But with this, we are picking up Sign here and gonna be showing off our randomizer feature Alt R.
Alt R is just a feature we've added into the randomizer. It lets you return to the starting position of the game at any point. It's in there to prevent soft locks you could have by being in areas without the requisite skill to get out of them, but it's also just generally used to optimize routing. Like in that instance, they could have gone back to could have fought a few Frankies and gone back to spawn, but it's just much quicker to just Alt R and be on your way and never have to deal with those Frankies. They have only found keystones so far, so there's only one path they can continue taking, which is into the main area of glades here. Both checking the underwater pickup we like to call fake flippers, and it's just another keystone as well. They're not electing to keep that one. They still have 1 keystone left over, and there's clean water anyway, so...
Yeah, and Grim immediately Alt-Ring to go back, Specht walking back. I think Specht got the right idea here. Walking back is a bit faster than taking the Alt-R, and Alt-R almost taking 20 seconds. Alright, and we know we have 1 extra keystone there, and will we get a skill at the underwater energy cell? No, it was a bait. It is just a mega health, a temporary HP buffer. Our runners are probably gonna want to keep until... Blackwood, I would assume, since that is a pretty dangerous area early in the game. Funnily enough, Graham doing the swim with the UI off to kind of get a better grasp on the fish position. I like that. I have never seen a randomizer runner actually using the UI target, so that's nice too. To experience here, but yeah, with the small optimization there of walking back instead of Alt-Ring, Specht is ahead by just a few seconds here on our last few checks, and it is a climb start.
Well, on one hand, that is one part of the grenade jumps that Graham would be very happy to see. On the other hand, just climb early movement can be fraught with difficulty, especially the infamous climb ramp in Blackroot Burrows. So I think the runners are going to be checking everything in glades here before heading that way, desperately hoping they might find something to help with that so they don't have to do it.
And Graham doing this mini iceless here, taking the lead. Very nicely done. You do not need to push the rock if you're willing to do terrible jumps, and Graham was willing to do terrible jumps. Very nice. Also on the second one, if you don't wanna conserve health, you can just walk up the climbs. So Graham taking a bit of a early lead here, but so far it has just been a very linear area. Both of our runners, I think, skipped getting fake flippers a second time, so they are 1 keystone short compared to what they could be. But I don't think our runners are gonna do an early Spirit Caverns instead going into Blackwood Barrows from this area. Let's see if we're gonna get any blind movement here. No, since we need those ability sets, our runners do not really have the resources to do blind movement at the wall jump tree. But yeah, this is our first of many trees that we need to visit today.
Trees are what every randomizer seed, or every randomizer seed in this tournament, is kind of structured around. Just to ensure that people don't find all the skills they need, find the sunstone, and just go to the end. We've added the flag force trees, which means you have to access the locations of every area where you would in the vanilla game find a skill before you can even enter the final escape. Kind of in an effort to mimic the most popular speedrun of this game, all skills, no out of bounds, teleport anywhere. So There are 10 trees, well, 9 trees and a feather that we pretend is a tree, scattered throughout the map of Nibel, and our runners are going to have to collect all 10 of them. And that was the first one that our runners just collected, and now they're in Blackroot Burrows, which houses another one.
Yes, you could see our runners tricking the game into walking with the menu open, using that to save a cutscene, because this is a speedrun and we do not like lore in our speedruns. It would be much better if we just get to skip them. Alright, eyes on the left. This climb ramp is frustrating and precise, and the amount of positions where you can actually get up there is ridiculously small, but Graham getting it without dropping down even once, nicely done. Does not get trolled by the orb, gets all of the 34 XP there. Probably not happy about having only 34 XP there, but very nicely done on her side. This can either infinitely, and Specht gets the second ramp first try. Alright, no
That's
trolling
very
with time
impressive.
frames today. That is such a hard and finicky trick. I am very impressed by that working so fast. Yeah, with this we have the most difficult jump in Blackroot. Alright, gets over it, no problem. You kinda have to abuse your coyote frames to make that. Waiting on the platform cycles, because sadly this area is a bit of an auto-scroller with a total of 3 auto-scroller sections you kinda cannot skip unless you get lucky with your early skill sets. But with this, we are off to our last Blackroot check before the tree, and then off into the tree area.
And Specht also gets it. And there's dash. Seems
Oh.
our predictions came true, and we finally have a seed with an early dash.
An early dash
you-
seed, I'm so happy. Alright, that is elephantine, as some people like to say. I mean, Dash does exactly what it says on the package. It makes Ori go fast. Our runners have the option to show off some more recent strats for this room. I wonder if Graham is going for that. Since there's another cutscene in this room, and with Dash you can do a very specific skip, and she is showing off that dash over and over. Is she going to? Yes,
She is.
very
This is
nice.
exciting.
Alright, so you place this save down in a very specific location and now walk the orb over to the statue. And once you activate the statue, you level up your ability, reload, and that skips the statue cutscene. But what you can do now is walk your orb back, rekindle the save you just placed, as Graham is doing, and once you reload your save a second time, there goes up the light and you get to do blind movement. Nicely done, Graham. Good heads up play to realize you had dash and can save some time with it. Let's see if
Meanwhile,
Specht goes for the same here. Yeah.
Specht took a small drop off the platforms, but it didn't cost him too much time. He's just behind Graham, who is electing not to keep the 19 XP she found at the bottom of the main room in Blackroot, and is instead heading towards this Indiana Jones boulder chase sequence. Actually, not in logic, with just climb. You have to do a finicky climb ramp at the bottom here to get up this wall that Graham is approaching, but it gives you access to the Blackroot teleporter and makes it a lot easier to return to this area later. So it's definitely a heads-up play. And there's the second of only 3 mega healths in this seed, so they're distributed fairly well. Weighted into the early game, and it's even a seed where you have clean water, so you can't even use them. Very sad.
Yeah, Specht sadly lost all his energy, so he wasn't able to do the cutscene skips we saw Graham do. Also, this area actually coming into logic once you skill air dash, which is required by 3.0 standard logic in the randomizer. So not a bad idea to get these checks out of the way early. So far, it's just been 66 experience, but there is still an out of logic border check you can do for information right here. Yep, Graham heading over for it as Specht.
And finds Spirit Light efficiency. That's a huge pickup. It will basically double all the experience she gets from any sources and allow her to level up many skills throughout the seed. It will allow her to do more of those save anywhere glitches we already saw, and there are some skills that you definitely want to level up if you have dash, in the form of air dash, as Xem talked about, which is actually in logic because there have been 3 ability cells found by our runners and then the even more powerful version, Charge Dash, which can give you great amounts of height.
Yeah, and speaking of air dash, we just got an additional one. So once our runners level up air dash, they get to dash twice in a row without touching the ground or a wall here with that bonus pickups added by the randomizer. Specht is also probably does he not want to keep the SA? Oh, he broke the boulder before heading up to the teleporter and wants to get the teleporter activation. I see. Yeah, it's very, very reasonable to get that teleporter because it does allow you for a quick ramping. Oh, there's the Sunstone and Spirit Caverns. This seed just gives all the keys to our runners. Alright, it is just the thing about getting the required skill set now. Once you are able to reach all your trees with this particular set of skills, you are in go mode. This might be a fast one.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be very jet. Graham also picked up the Swamp Teleporter in Spirit Caverns, which might be further required logical progression if she doesn't find anything else here in this Charge Flame area. She can access the tree, the XP below, and the XP above. And if nothing's there on one of those three, then she has to take the Swamp Teleporter, which gives her access to the entirety of the right side.
Yeah, and Graham doing a bit of a blind movement trick here. There is a wall in the way, but as long as you can't see it, it isn't there. Some good logic for the game here that actually applies. So Graham can just walk right through the wall, will now climb up, pull the lever, and check this notorious pickup above Sea Flame Tree that has randoed way too many of our runners in this tournament, but will probably, unless something gigantic is on this pickup right here, we will afterwards probably head into the swamp area. Meanwhile, Specht having a bit of gets the climber, but the projectile cycle, but gets the micro dash 2 times in a row. Okay, that's impressive. Very quickly gotten it, and probably lucky about doing it twice because there was a sunstone there. Alright, finds his from teleporter. Is missing that keystone from earlier, so he cannot proceed through Spirit Caverns right away, but will instead just head to Swamp. And that can actually save space quite some time, since we saw there is nothing in the Charge Flame area, and once you have the Charge Dash or any other way of breaking blue walls, you get to skip quite a bit of the area.
Yeah, this is a nice play on his side. Graham has meanwhile taken the Swamp TP and Specht is hard on her heels. There are two ways the runners can go from here. They can go right around the outer swamp loop, and they can also go left. Graham has chosen to go left, and Specht is following her. She's watched a fairly long cutscene, but there isn't really anything you can do to skip it with the skill set, so you just have to bite the bullet. And she's checking this underwater pickup, and finds Wind Restored. That's going to make the area look nice, but unless she finds Glide as well, it doesn't actually do much.
Yeah, Wind being one of those pickups that could come in very clutch later into the seed, but for now will not really do anything. She does find a half cell here, which is nice to have. Sadly, there's no way to keep that without an Aldara and a long teleport animation, so she will just decide to skip out of this save scam it. You sadly do not get to keep your pickups in this randomizer unless you save your game afterwards, so that half cell is lost for now. But yeah, with having climb and air dash, our runners can traverse these early areas of the game very quickly, and Specht actually deciding to just keep the half cell and taking the Alt R route, going back to the teleporter. I kinda like this because the trek back to the teleporter is pretty long. However, that means he will not be revisiting the Horror Fields half cell, and this pickup as in logic the moment the Swamp teleporter comes into play, no matter what other skill set you have. So if this becomes huge, that's a lead for Graham. Otherwise, this is a good time save for Specht here.
Yeah, so what you do is you lure that Baneling down there, and it's just an ability cell. Definitely nice. Both our runners are probably itching to get Charge Dash sooner rather than later, but it's not exactly what Graham had hoped for when she was checking it. She'll still keep it and be heading into Outer Swamp Loop now, and she's a little behind Specht because of his play of skipping that and just out-Ring with the health cell.
Yeah, but so far this lead has been quite linear, and remember, Graham does have the advantage of already having visited Charge Flame tree. Since it is a tree, you need to do it. But for now, Graham is gonna watch this cutscene, wanted to spend the energy she had on a safety save earlier to not get memed by the swarm enemy. I do not blame her at all for that. This is a tournament match after all, and losing a minute to a death would be pretty annoying. There is no verticality for our runners yet. That means they cannot enter Ginso. The closest way of doing that would involve leveling up to charge dash and doing some terrible, terrible tricks, which I hope our runners won't need to do. Finds a second energy cell here. We saw Specht doing that too. Alright, up into the swamp loop. Meanwhile, Specht coming up on the laser cutscene, gets a save in a certain location here, reloads the game, and now that he reloaded the game, the laser animation plays out, but there are no lasers, and there will not be any lasers for the rest of his seat.
He is electing to skip the Iceless XP, which he could have gotten with air dash. Let's see if Graham checks it when she's coming here, but it makes sense. It's one singular check, and he's heading down to Grotto, which is towards the tree, and is a much denser area.
Yeah, but Graham deciding, yeah, this pickup, we need to do blind movement anyway, and this gets into logic. Didn't pay off for her, but I personally do like the clearing while you are going to tree version of playing if you still need skills. And with just climb and dash, our runners can do a lot actually, but they cannot finish the game just yet with this. So both of our runners are gonna be digging for probably 2 or 3 more skills before they can finish the game, hoping that none of those is wall jump, because otherwise it's gonna be even more skills to get a clear. But yeah, with this Death Gauntlet also just being very sparse, our experience numbers just low across the board. The randomizer really doesn't want our runners to get early fun with charge dash here. Apparently, with this we are heading over to the lower grotto area. Opening this door means Specht is gambling on finding an energy cell or level up in this area here, because otherwise he cannot get the upper part of the bridge cutscene. Let's see if he can level up from the slimes. They do drop quite a bit of XP, and with climb air dash you can be very safe while doing it. So far, alright, falls down once, but luckily our water isn't poisonous. That won't be a problem. Graham, meanwhile, deciding to open the bridge and use a save anywhere to skip the falling down part and get Stomp. Alright, this just became very important here.
Stomp is huge, and Specht is not going to be able to check it because because he does not have an ability cell. So he will, and there's wall jump. Sam, when's the last time you saw 2 skills on these checks? I feel they're always just experience.
Oh, that has been quite a bit of time, yeah, indeed. And having both Stomp and Wall Jump, that's a gigantic advantage for Graham. First of all, she can do, if she wants to, like 2 extra checks on Grotto that Specht can't do without having Wall Jump. And way more importantly, that is actually logical progression for quite a few things, and Specht will need to do the revisit and remember to do the revisit to get those 2 pickups, because they are right over at the bridge and they are sure in logic with other runners having air dash. Alright, Specht heading to the tree as Graham is setting up for some left side checks here if she wants to. More health that we already saw. I wonder if she's gonna go open the door, do a rock slide or anything like that. She does have the tools for it if she wants to do a full clear of the left side grotto area.
This Stomp also put a couple of very fun pickups into logic that you rarely see. Buttercell is one of them. The Death Gauntlet Roof without charge jump is another one. So let's see if they become relevant for our runners. Specht, this must be unsatisfying for Specht. He's coming towards the tree, and getting a tree is great. But there are a couple of pickups on the way, especially that one EXP directly next to the double jump double jump tree that you really want to be able to pick up once you're down there. It's painful having to revisit down there for an important skill. Graham will be able to check it. It's not in logic, but let's see if she does some fun stomp strats to get to it when she's on her way to the tree.
Yeah, but Specht immediately realizing what part of logic he is missing, dropping back down, Erdish gets him across, and that will be both Stomp and, yep, he will get his wall jump too. Graham doing a very nice Bronchi bouncing trick to get up to here. Alright, go on the small ledge and gets it. Just an attack upgrade, but nice
trick is so
showing
cool.
here. Yeah, it always looks so satisfying when you get it. Very nicely done. Will now also be heading close to the tree very soon. Specht even dropping down further. Is he deciding to go for the far left pickup? A very out of the way one-off over by this moving pillar puzzle. He does have the opportunity to get it if he wants to, but it does take quite some time. All right, so far it looks like he's nice up dash there. So far it looks like he's just gonna do left side grotto checks, gets some resources, will perhaps even go to the grotto mini boss. Meanwhile, Graham doing setting up for the second stomp here. Doesn't get the timing on the first two tries, decides to just leave the pickup behind. You do not want to waste time on some more of the funky tricks. So I do respect that decision. For now, we will see whether Graham decides to go lower BRB, growth, storm checks, or maybe even rally entry as Specht is stacking. This, it's just an ability style, will help him get C-dash earlier, but so far no major progression, and we're off into absolute skill parity, almost progression parity. Let's see how our runners route from here.
This is interesting. They're both coming down to lower black root. Stomp puts getting through this floor into logic, and having dash actually puts moving through the lasers down here into logic. So there's a couple of pickups down here that have come into logic a fair bit earlier in this seed than they often do. Let's see if any one of those is relevant. Even if none of them are, our runners are going to be able to get another tree down here, which they would need anyway. So it's definitely a heads-up play to route like this. And there's the forlorn teleporter.
Forlorn teleporter. Oh god, is Graham gonna grab that? No, I don't think so. Forlorn teleporter with this skill set being the most horrifying of left side accesses you can imagine. I do not think any of our runners are going to think about that. But if you find the Gumon seal, that Forlorn teleporter might be in logic, and Graham knows it's there. If the Gumon seal is found, I would assume she might be coming back and just grab the teleporter. For now, both of our runners deciding I don't want to have anything to do with Forlorn, taking deaths there, going back over here, and yeah, does Graham have 2 ability points? That is the big question right now. I cannot.
She only has one. She only has one. So so she's probably not going to be leveling up towards charge dash, but you still want to skip this cutscene. It's like 80 seconds long. And you'll probably find ability cells later to get charge dash.
Yeah, it is kind of sad because charge dash is out of logic blue breakage for our runners. With that, they can clear quite a bit better. But so far, this team just doesn't want to give any XP or abilities. So our runners just don't get to use charge dash even 20 minutes after actually finding the dash. Alright, with this 4 energy, Graham is now able to open 4 energy doors, one being right here. Just opens it for later, might be coming back for the 4 energy underwater check in Death Gauntlet if she decides to do so. Does not go for the refill, so she will be heading over to the growth area first. There is Buttercell here, an underwater pickup locked behind the Stomp Pack, as well as the above Death Gauntlet area consisting of a health cell and a plant, one of which our runners can get. And then otherwise there's always one of our favorite areas, Valley Entry. Let's see where our progression actually lies today.
Valley Entry would be an amazing place for progression to be at this point. And there's Charge Flame out of logic for Specht, but that's huge. That allows him to break all the blue plants that we've seen around here and he doesn't even have to spend energy to do it. That pickup needs double jump to be considered in standard logic, and we've not seen any of that so far. But Specht is gladly going to take that.
Yeah, I would assume he most definitely loves that pickup. That will give him quite a bit of advantage because all these areas Graham can't full clear because of not having charge dash right now. He can just deflame the plants and break them right now, and might also be getting some hints out of the actual logical progression. Then there's also this Grotto 4 energy vault down here, which we did not see any of our runners check yet, which while our fourth energy was not in logic, but our progression might as well just be for energy, right? We do not know yet, and if it is then, there is the option to skip one step of the progression chain here. Gets a nice Grotto teleporter in Grotto. I'm sure he loves seeing that right there. Graham angrily stomping next to the plant because she does not have the ability to break it quite yet. We'll get that soon. Yeah, for now we are still in checks. We find our first mapstone, I think, right?
That is indeed our first mapstone. We've been at it for 25 minutes, and at the start it looked like a really fast seed. Water Vein, Sunstone, Dash, but since then the seed just has refused to give our runners anything, and there's not much left in logic. They still don't have the height to the height gain to ascend up the Ginso tree. They could put in the Water Vein, and then not do anything in there, I guess. But meanwhile, Specht has finally leveled up to Charge Dash and now has access to rocket jumps. And he's revisiting the Charge Flame tree that Graham picked up earlier, which is going to put him on tree parity with Graham as well. And he might even continue. No, he can't continue upward. He doesn't have Charge Jump.
Yeah, but Graham also getting charged as our runners, kind of getting that at the same time. Graham with a rocket
grenade.
jump gets grenade. 2 out of 3 right here. Charge jump would look really nice right about now. But with this, we can do our plant cleanup. That works. Both of these being out of logic, interestingly enough. But this is kind of shaping up, in my opinion. Like, there's just gonna be double jump on Valley entry or the Gumon Seal and double jump and fall down. I'm interested to see what's actually going to be the progression here, because our runners are rapidly running out of checks to do.
Yeah, I would guess at this point that it's Valley entry. Graham is checking a couple of pickups that Specht has already shown us, and we know that there's a mapstone down here and an ability cell, but nothing in terms of progression. So we'll see how long it takes our runners to revisit that location, if it is where progression is. Specht is returning to Swamp. I'm curious to see what he's going to do here. He's going to try to rocket jump off the swarm. Doesn't get it. Sometimes it just doesn't work.
Oh
no! And he's reloading.
Yeah, probably really wants to get
unfortunate.
that. Really wants to get that check. The reload will get him his energy and the enemies back. This version works. Alright, gets an energy cell. Having a lot of energy is not a bad thing, especially when you use Charge Dash without any form of cancellation as your main form of verticality right now. Gets some more checks, but at this point, I would assume it's Valley entry. It can, of course, still be something else I'm forgetting about. It is not the mapstone turn-in, as we have just seen. Graham opting to skip some progression steps using both Flame and Grenade to do plant and grenade lock pickup cleanup here. So far it's just been ability sets. Nice to have. We will need those for a lot of tricks, but it is not progression.
You see what Specht just did? He did a damage boost iceless off a frog shot. That was wild.
Oh my god, damage boost ices off the frog shot. That is the first time I have seen that in my life. GG to Specht, you're the winner in my heart right here. I have seen that trick being done with the Frankie before, but never with a frog. So, very heads up that that's even possible. GG again. Graham deciding to take her air dash into the dash plant area. Sadly, it is nothing for her, and she is now walking to the left side. Let's see if it's finally going to be that Valley entry play from Graham.
progression could also be hiding in the spider sack area, which they could actually access with a rocket jump from below. But I think if Valley Entry proves to not hold what these runners are searching for, then Graham is just going to walk over there and check it from above, which is definitely easier. She has 4 energy, so progression vault can't troll her on this time. And there's charge jump. We have
3 out
grenade
of
jump.
3. Let's go. We have grenade jumps, and now it is a search for left side access to finish the seed. That is everything Graham will need to finish the seed. Can now also wait. What am I saying? We have Storm. We have left side access. Yeah, we can finish out the seed if we want to. The health, the amount of health is going to be a problem since we do not have glide, do not have bash. Getting actual left side access is not easy with the skill set, but doesn't look like Graham is carrying, really abusing that controller privilege for some nice wall charge jumps right there. Seemingly probably gonna will she zombie upwards, or is she actually able to land the G jump? If you do not zombie this is extremely precise. Alright, she needs to grenade jump up and to the right, cancel that, land on a micro ledge, and then get up and rocket jump. Decides, oh no, screw that, I'm not doing anything like that. I'm gonna use my charge jump and get some actual progress onto my easier to get trees first. Sets up for another grenade jump, tightly hits the ceiling. It happens. A cute little rocket jump off to skip climbing the wall, and with this, I think Graham is now gonna go over to the storm tree.
Yeah, and probably Ginso next. We've had the water vein for a very long time. There might very well be further progression in there, or even just the left side TP, which would be all that Graham needs to finish out the seed. She has the health is low, but remember that we do have clean water, so if our runners want to, they can do this escape without taking any damage, and there's double jump.
Alright, this just became a bunch easier. I do not think Graham will be hoping for a left side teleporter or rather needing one anymore with that double jump. That makes the spiky area she just had troubles with so much easier. Really showing off those grenade jumps, only missed a single one so far, I think, and those are one frame tricks every single time you do it. We just saw Specht get a Sorrow teleporter in the upper swamp entry. I'm very interested to see if Graham decides to walk towards Ginso or to alt R out and teleport towards Ginso. If she decides to alt R out, that could come into play because, yeah, Sorrow teleporter does save a bunch of time with the skill set. I
Definitely.
would assume she is teleporting. We will see that right after the tree. But for now, Specht is really using those rocket jumps to clear out the game, but he just needs to get over to Valley Entry.
Xem, by the way, Graham now does not only have grenade jumps, she also has access to stomp cancels, so she has basically everything you need to go fast in this game. Aside from bash, I guess bash would be nice, but realistically, a runner of Graham's skill level really doesn't need it at this point. She's going to rocket jump up here, check this one, pick up, and get an energy cell for her troubles. She's definitely going to be happy to have that. And then rocket jump over to the Ginso tree.
Yeah, and here on the right side, keep your eyes on Specht because I think he's setting up for a redirect swamp drain entry, and if he gets that, he will find some out of logic progression. We already saw there's a double jump over there, which would be gigantic for him. Will he set up the Sea Flame redirect, or will he just take the plant down here? That is the big question I have to ask right now, because one of that would probably send him right onto the right track to finish the seed, while the other sadly would just get him some more resources for now. Alright, gets the maps done. Will he go back up and try to enter Swamp with the lower access? Right, I think he's
trying it, yeah.
Alright, as on the left side, the mini-boss just evaporated. Okay, gets the frog rocket jump. Alright, this is the moment of truth. Will he decide to go for swamp entry or not?
Yeah, as you
Right.
can see, Specht has been playing well. It's just that one missing check in Valley entry, which he hasn't done, is like really costing him. He has no verticality, and you can see how difficult it is making traversal of these areas, which really expect you to have at least some rudimentary form of verticality in the form of double jump. He's doing well, but he has definitely fallen behind at this point. He gets it. That was so
Double
impressive.
redirect. That was so nice from Specht. Meanwhile, we did find Glide on the left side for Graham. So, and Specht finds his double jump here at Swamp Drain entry, which he's probably gonna be very happy about. That will make traversal so much easier. Actually, get him up to Ginzo, which means he will be getting his Glide. I think once he gets his Glide, he can just teleport to Sorrow and finish it, since yeah, Glide Wind will get you to all the left side stuff if he really wants to. But with this, Specht finally finding his progression as Graham is heading back to the area she left behind earlier, but now she has 3 jumps and a glide on top of her grenade jumps and storm cancel. It's really just missing Bash in this seat. So yeah, with that gajillion health, she can just straight up walk up here, kind of set up on the wall. There is a spot here. Yeah, gets the micro dash. We're just Coyote frames trolling our runner here, but can just get up here. Rocket jump off the Frankie will now probably save the game and set up for a very finicky grenade jump. Let's see if she gets it. All right, that is
First
the kill
try.
plane. Skipped first try. GG Graham, that was very nice. Can now just float up to the rocks and stomp them without a hit. Nicely done.
And she finds the Gumon seal in addition to everything. I don't think she cares much about Forlorn at this point anymore. She has everything she needs to finish out the seed, and she just needs to go and do it. She knows where all the dungeon keys are. Maybe Bash is in Forlorn, but if Bash is in Forlorn, then Graham is probably going to be like, well, I guess I'm not getting it.
Yeah, definitely. I do not think she wants any. Alright, Graham, be careful with all these birds. Do not die here or your kill plane skip is gonna. Alright, gets around him. Boops Kuro on the head will get her quote unquote feather 3 for her travels. As Specht is really thinking about what he missed, because he knows that double jump was not in logic, I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
It's unfortunate for him, right? He skipped going through the top of Spirit Caverns because he only had 3 keystones. Later came back for Charge Flame Tree from the bottom, but has still never been up there where Valley Entry is, and can't even teleport there. Doesn't have the teleporter. Ginzo would probably be the correct play at this point, and I think we're going to see him do that. He does find Grenade at this point. It's nice to have, but doesn't exactly help him much. He does have blue breakage already in 2 other forms after all. So yeah, just that one missed keystone from earlier really hurting him throughout the seed. Unfortunate to see.
Yeah, really, at this point, of course, we all know as the viewers that our charge jump is in Valley Entry, but our runners certainly cannot watch each other's screens, so he has no idea. Will now teleport to Swamp, get over to his Ginzo tree, do that, find Glide on the Bash tree, if I remember correctly. That will be a nice find for him. Oh, nope, skips it for now. There is a grenade pickup to be checked right over here. We'll grab that first, maybe do something else. Meanwhile, Graham hitting up her 9th tree, just has to do Misty to finish out the seed, and with grenade jumps and storm cancels, that's gonna be a very fast area.
Most definitely, and it's going to be a joy to watch her movement here. Specht maybe has forgotten that he has the water vein. Would be understandable. For remembering what you have in Randomizer is basically impossible, and he found it so early. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this pickup is anything. Graham checked it earlier, and he's just falling further and further behind, not checking Valley Entry and getting that charge jump. Meanwhile, everything is falling in place for Graham. She's moving through Misty, charge dashing, storm canceling everywhere, just setting up a nice grenade jump, getting it first try as well, as she has done for basically all of them so far. And this is going to be a fairly fast seed for her.
Yes, definitely. Really having no problems at all with Misty. Grenade jump after grenade jumps. Beautifully extended with those Patera jumps all over the ground. Gets all the way through the room. Will now set up for the backwards version. Energy Crystal going away. Go away, Energy Crystal. We want to see more grenade jumps. Nicely done. With this, there's just one more floating section right down here. And then one floor she can just break with her charge jump that she found earlier. And with this, we are off to 10 trees and off to Horu for our final escape for Graham.
Yeah, and it's her race to lose at this point. She would have to die like 30 times in the final escape, and for Specht to catch back up. And I don't think she's going to die a single time. So just unfortunate for Specht that he went so long without ever checking valley entry and finding that charge jump that ultimately gated the rest of the seed.
Yeah, that charge jump. The Valley entry hardlock has happened before in this tournament, and it is just such an easy area to forget about, right? There are like 2 pickups there to check, sometimes 3 if you have the blue breakage, and it is so out of the way of everything. You already did your charge flame tree earlier. You wanna come back there later when you can actually access the left side, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for now, Grim setting up for the grenade jump, not getting all the way through, but just there's another one off the rock. That grenade jump accuracy, man, that is so impressive. And with this, there is just one final decision to be made in this seed. Is it going to be a door warp, or are we going to see violence?
I'm hoping for violence from Graham, but she's going for door warp. Understandable. It is faster if you get it quickly. And given how well Graham has been nailing her tricks, I'm sure this one won't give her much trouble either. But on the right, it looks like Specht is finally heading towards Valley entry, where he's going to pick up charge jump, which is going to allow him to finish out the rest of the seed in a fairly quick manner as well.
Trying to set up for Ghost Star here, sadly fell off the wall, so it is not the fastest Ghost Star, but whatever. With this, we can finally go over here. Alright, Specht will have his grenade jumps right about now as Graham goes into the final escape. Off we go, rocks falling, no one dying, hopefully. This isn't Dungeons and Dragons. Decides to go for the lower road, will now have to nail this grenade jump here. Alright, she gets 1 second chance after the pillar is down. Through it without a problem, breaks the floor, breaks this wall, can either do a grenade jump or just say I have more than enough health. So far she's just saying, well, I'm gonna do neither, I'm just gonna climb up the left wall, gets through the S area, Kuro on her heels, but she has clean water, she has all the time in the world to swim through this if she wants to. Gets away from the fishes, just has to be careful not to spawn Kuro in this room, jumps over the trigger without a problem, climbing up the left wall, 1 charge jump, 2 charge jumps, going for the 3rd one, will set up her final grenade jump, needs to get the position just right, otherwise Ori will soft lock and we do not want to see that. Sets up for it, misses the J jump, alright, going for it again, setting up for it again, aiming all the way up. Come on, Graham, I believe in you. 3rd time is the charm after all. The position here is quite precise, so retries do take a while. But yeah,
And she gets
Ori
it.
walking? Ori is walking.
GG.
GG, Graham. Graham is going on in the brackets, going to face the loser of Tritonite versus Daymar next week. But yeah, for now, she just has to hold right on this last stretch of Naru. Are we gonna see Naru hops here?
I would definitely hope. I'm always hoping for Naru hops. Meanwhile, Specht has collected his Sorrow teleport as his charge jump tree and is finishing out his left side. And at some point, I think he's going to remember that he had the water vein. Find glide in there.
We are seeing Naru hops. Alright, GG, Graham. Finishing with a side of
GG.
44, 37, 84. Winning this match as, as you said, Specht is now cleaning up his left side trees. Will not have much troubles with that, I would assume. And then just has to remember he actually has the water vein for quite a while now and do finish that up.
He's He's probably happy he found the Sora teleporter. Going in from the bottom, as Grem did without having glide, would have definitely been much more challenging. But having the Sora teleporter, you can just drop through Sorrow, and only that section right there is a little bit difficult. And then you're basically directly at the rocks and can give Kura a break.
Yep, the feather falling down, our quote-unquote tree being collected in just a moment here. We just need to do Misty. We do not have glide for Misty, so it's a little bit more challenging than Graham had to do on this, but I'm sure Specht can do it no problem. Yeah, setting up for G-jumps himself, gets it without an hitch, extending with the double jumps. Beautiful jump right here. Can now just get through this area similarly to how Graham did. The glide really just giving some extra in those S sections. But speaking of Graham, I see Graham on deck ready for an interview here. So let's pull her in. GG Graham.
GG.
All right, Graham. Can you hear us, Graham?
Graham?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. GG. That
Oh,
was a
thank you.
fun race to watch.
Did I win?
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did win. GG Graham.
Oh, do I get ice cream? That's the most important question.
I will be sending you an ice cream delivery later. So
Yes, please.
but let's
Make it a
get it
dozen.
started. Grenade jumps and storm cancels. Were you happy with what the seed threw at you?
Extremely not in the beginning, but extremely yes in the end. Wow, I mean the stomp and clean water kind of threw me off. At that point of time, I was like, all right, so it's swamp entry, DG roof, butter cell, or valley entrance, and I was like, oh my god, they're all so far apart, and I didn't know where to go. And I was like, I wasn't sure which one to check first, so I decided to go with the very exceptional choice of butter cell as well as DG roof, because I did a quick stream of 2 seats the night before, and both of them had unexpected skills at all the unexpected places. So I thought, could this be one of those days as well? And then of all the places that I checked, which was Valley entrance much, much later on, turned out to be charge jump. And I wanted to give you guys a little wrote down the thing about no, don't go to Valley, not yet. And then, halfway out I alt are out just for memes. Yep.
Yeah, I was certainly hoping you would go to Valley all the way at that point. But speaking of Valley entry, when you found charge jump, what was going through your mind? Did you feel behind at all when you literally got last checked?
Yes. Yes. I thought I was so way behind, and I was like literally thinking to myself, oh my god, I'm going to lose. I'm going nuts. And then I looked at my trees, I was like, oh my god, there's so much to do. So I went for the obvious trees first. The fact that I had not touched trees on the right hand side, aka Ginzo and Dog Tree and everything else. So I figured, you know what, let's just clear them as fast as possible, and by then I should have more than enough points from the miscellaneous pickups to have ultra defense, so I don't really have to worry about damage boosting my way around. Or do how SAs is pretty much ridiculous and really hard, especially for controller holders, because our A button, the jump button, is also proceed. So every time I do a SA, if I happen to be aiming my left stick in the wrong direction, I will accidentally close my SA, and it can be very dangerous. It can make or break my SA. So, my heart
Definitely
is
a
Yeah,
totally
heads up
not
you
there.
pumping at all.
you got
Yeah.
through very nicely there. In the end, you also even found all the skills you could have
I
ever
know.
wanted on the way.
Yeah.
Getting double jump at lower swamp entry, finding glider bash, skipping sorrow TP at upper swamp entry. But hey, you can't get all of it, right?
Oh no, I'm actually happy not to have bash. As much as bash is a very very powerful skill, I've learned to cope without bash. So I'm actually kind of happy that I did not have bash, because it made the seat challenging. My heart was pumping, and then most of all, as a controller player, I'm actually pretty proud to be a G jumper. and a very consistent G jumper at the same time. So it's something that I've practiced for a long time, and it's finally paid off. So was Valley Entrance or Sorrow TP the actual progression?
Valley
I'm
entry
kind
was
of curious.
progression. Once you
Valley
picked up
entry?
Stomp, because both the blue breakages that you found were out of logic.
Yes.
But you were supposed to pick up Stomp on the water vein and then go all the way back to Valley entry to pick up Charge Jump, which gets you double jump, which
Oh,
then gets you Charge Flame.
I see. Yeah, at that point of time, I reached the Desperado stage because any skill would be a good skill. Any skill at that point of time. Even Blue
Yeah.
Breakage, because I was searching for the longest time and farming for XP because I did not even have enough points for C dash and I was actually clearing the big slimes and everything just to get the miserable XP, and because of SLE I was like, please just 1 point. Just one
Yeah,
will
this
do.
the C did not want you guys to have Charge Jazz early.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it
amount of
was.
experience you got were so small, even
I
even with even with SLE. It took
Did
a
you
very
see the
long
two
time.
pickups that I checked in Ginzo? The only two pickups that I checked in Ginzo were both 5 XP. It was amazing.
Nice.
It felt good. I mean, I didn't really need to farm for health or anything because clean water was really early, but all I wanted to find was basically ability points just to get C dash, and at that point of time, there was nothing. All I found was health, but I wanted points for C dash. It was like pretty ironic. You're like, please. But when I got C jump, I was like, judge jump, yeah. It was
Okay.
great.
One final question before we're
Mhm.
watching Specht's escape that he
Mhm.
is currently entering. How do you feel about the upcoming match? You're going to be facing the winner of the match between Tritonite and Jamal. How do you feel about that? Is there maybe one of those runners that you would rather face, and what are your thoughts on the tournament going forward?
Dun dun dun. Well, it is the randomizer. It can't be anyone's game at this point of time. I wish both the runners best of luck. Um, I'm probably gonna lose, so there goes my ultimatum dreams of being top 10. Poof, poof, all gone out the window. But I will try and do my best regardless of who I have to face. Um, we'll see when the time comes. So yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Well,
And and thank you for the interview. We gotta watch Specht do his final escape now, though. Having exactly the same skill set as you and also getting through the first rooms without it. Opts to take the upper route. Does not need to grenade jump here. Can just charge jump over the upper room, which will not spawn crew. Let's see if he does a grenade jump through this room or opts for a damage boost. Opts for the damage boost. Oh no, gets knocked back on the second hit of the flame. We cancel C jump. He falls back down into the flames, but no hesitation. Going for the second attempt will this time, taking the same route here, can jump over all the fire using all of his air stalling skills. Waiting for the lava pillar, not a problem. Jumping across the ground, back into the elemental room, probably the hardest room with this setup. The fire knocking him out of his charge jump again. That
yeah.
can happen.
Once you get hit by the fire once there, it's really hard to get back out of it because it knocks you out of your out of charging up a charge jump, and then you'll just get caught in there until you're dead, basically. Very
Yeah.
unfortunate. Definitely not a free room with the skill set. He could do a grenade jump or do what Grem did, but both of these aren't any easier than what he's doing right here.
Yeah, all right. That was a very aggressive two charge dashes. I do not think he believed the first one would hit the fire there, because if you're just at the top, it actually won't. Sadly it did. So getting 2 extra fire hits, charge dash, resetting your iframes will mean you get damage twice on it. Alright, the pillar's still up, but gets through just fine. Back into the elemental room. There is something to be said here. Oh,
And
that's
he's through.
another two, but he's through the room. But we are not done yet. This S room, do not touch the fire in the S room, alright? Will not touch the fire. Now get rid of the fish before they hit you. Very nice, but there is still one Kuro spawn to skip right here.
Bonks
And
is
he skips
stealing,
it.
but he is through. Very nice. Can just climb
That
up
was
the
tight.
left wall. Let's see if he will opt for grenade jump or just go through the thing. Thinking about it, but decides, whatever. Let us just be done with this, and is out of the escape. GG to Specht98.
GG. Very well played.
Right, we just got about 2 more minutes of holding. Well, not quite 2, but we got over a minute of holding right here before we will get Specht's official time. But afterwards, sadly, this will be Specht's last match here in this tournament. This was the lower bracket, and with his loss here, he gets eliminated. But still, very nice showing. This seed did he did so many nice tricks in this seed. That Iceless with a frog damage boost, that was just amazing. And
And that lower swamp entry where he Sea Flame redirected and then Stomp redirected the spider shot. That was so hype.
yeah, definitely. Sometimes Rando is just gonna last check you, and in this case, it happened to both of our runners, and Specht checking even more before going over there to Valley entry. That is probably sad for him, but still very well played. Will get a time of 46, 56, and something here. It is going to be 26.75. GG again, and we actually have another match coming up later today, don't we?
We do. It's a very exciting match between Shave and Sloders27 at 7 p.m. EDT. So it's going to be a while still, but it's going to be definitely going to be one to watch, and I would recommend all our viewers now also tune in then. Commentated by 2Kill and Cleanfell, it's definitely going to be a fun time.
Yeah, and if you do not want to wait all the way to Ori, remember we have other tournaments coming up on the various speed gaming channels. This day is packed with various things. Pokemon Crystal coming up in about 2 hours right here. So if you want to stick around and see more speedrun tournaments, just come back right then. Also, I see Specht is up for an interview, so let's pull in Specht. GG to you, Specht. That you did some very nice and interesting stuff in this seat.
GG.
Thank you.
GG Spec.
Alright, first question, just a personal thing. Iceless proc damage boost? Is that the thing you practiced?
It happened, I guess. And then I charge dashed off, so it didn't even work. It was very sad.
Oh, I was so impressed by that.
Also, that lower swamp entry, that was some wild stuff. Sea Flame redirect into a Stomp redirect. That was so cool.
Yeah, it worked better than I expected.
Alright, but I guess the first question I wanna ask is, what are your feelings about that? Well, I'm not even sure if to call it early or mid game at this point, with the dash stomp and just 4 places on opposite ends of the map opening up all at once.
Yeah, there were so many places to check, and I figured I should put Valley entry for very, very late because I can't continue through there without Bash or Stomp. So I checked a lot of other locations first, and it didn't pay off, I guess. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. The rando just sometimes decides that you're finding what you're looking for on the last location that you check, and you can't really do anything about it.
So, other question about, you actually broke sequence to get to that double jump and had the option to continue up into Ginso at that point if you wanted to, but decided to go do some more digging. Were you thinking about finally finding that missing logic link there, or what was kind of going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, I thought the double jump was really nice because it let me get up the Ginzo tree at least. That would be something, but I figured I needed left side access at that point because I had this Sorrow TP and Stomp, but not really a way to do Sorrow without glide or something. So I really wanted to look for some left side access, and I didn't really think about going through the Ginso tree. I kind of forgot I had the water vein already. It was, I think, when I got to the charge jump tree or something, I saw, oh, I have the water vein, so I could do Ginso.
And you did find glide along the way.
Yeah, on the bash tree.
On the bash tree. But that Sorrow teleporter definitely helped out. You didn't really need it much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had another question that I wanted to ask you. Oh yeah, when you finally found charge jump, what were your thoughts at that point? Did you feel like way behind, or how did you feel about the state of the race at that point?
Yeah, so as I said, I wanted to put Valley Entry for very late in my checks. So when I found it in Valley Entry, I was like, well, this is like the last place I could go. So she's probably found it first, which is unfortunate, but charge jump was for me full go mode basically. I was pretty sure I could finish out the seed at that point.
Makes
And-
sense.
Yeah, and your cleanup did look very nice in the end. GG again, sad to see you go from the tournament, but I hope you had some fun here, because we certainly enjoyed watching you play this one.
All right,
Most
thank
definitely.
you. GG's to Graham as well.
GG to you, Speck. Well played. Really
Well
well
played.
played.
Right, and with this, I think it is time to close out this match. Thank you, Apple, for the restream. Thank for our track meant by Gard and Banish. Thank you, Liftoff, for commentating with me. And of course, thanks to our runners and all of our viewers. I heard Shed is looking extremely cute today. That's it for us for now. Remember to come back later for more Ori tournament action in this evening. And see you around then.
Auf
Have a good one.
Wiedersehen.